My name is Lee Whipke, and this is how I met Jesus. I felt I met Jesus at a very young age. I was privileged to grow up in a Christian home where my mother was a spiritual leader of the family. And my dad made sure that we got to Sunday school every Sunday. But I can remember my mom reading the Bible to us and telling us stories about how much Jesus loved us. And I had no reason to believe anything other than that. And later on, when I went to Sunday school, I heard kind of the same thing, only Jesus loved me, and if I loved Jesus, I would get to go to heaven with him someday. And so later on, when I was I went to junior high Bible camp at Camp Judson, and one night one of our camp pastors was talking about salvation and what it really meant. And he says, yes, if you love Jesus, and you will be able to go to heaven when you die and be with him. But he said, there's another step that you need to take. He said, you need to invite Jesus into your heart and make him Lord and Savior of your life. And so I did that night. And later, a couple weeks later in our church, I made a public confession of my faith and was baptized as a believer. We've had our issues, as I say. I've made some bad choices and have been redeemed for that, but I feel like I've been blessed beyond measure with a wonderful wife and two beautiful daughters and 8 wonderful grandchildren, and there's not been a time in our life when Jesus hasn't met our needs. I keep thinking, grace and mercy have a whole different meaning for me now than they did back then. I know that I'm saved by God's grace and only by God's grace, and I'm alive probably because of God's grace and his mercy. I spent a year in Vietnam as a medic with the 1st Marine Division, and there were many times when I probably should not have come home, but I did. And so I question why did I come home when 58,000 others didn't get to come home? And so I always thought that there's a reason that God brought me home. There's a reason for that, and I will later in life find out about that maybe. I'd like to read a quote from Rick Warren. Years ago, one of our small groups did a Bible study on The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. And he made a comment that has stuck with me since then. There are people on this planet whom only you will be able to reach because of where you live and what God has made you to be. If just one person will be in heaven because of you, your life will have made a difference for eternity. And I would like to think that has already happened for me. But if it has not, I would also pray that God would not let me miss that opportunity when it arises.